of the mosques were controlled by extremists.
Over 80% of the mosques in this country were controlled by radical imams. And certainly from what I've seen and dealings I've had, that number seems accurate now.
There is people everywhere want peace and justice, and we're entirely right to struggle for it. Peter King is an enemy of peace. He's an enemy of justice. He criminalize those of us who stand for it. And we will never accept this. In the months ahead, and in fact in the years ahead, all of us will face challenges. Challenges.
Peter King saying that 80% of mosques are radical. I am a student of Masjid Da'wah and other mosques, and they teach us to be fellow people in our community.
Come and visit with us in our masjid. Come and attend our Friday congregation and listen to our imams, what they had been preaching. They had been preaching the message of peace, the message of tolerance, the message of coexistence, the message of peace-loving people here and everywhere. Would love to invite you to listen to all of these.
Non-Muslims, I invite you to come to any masjid to learn what is being taught in our masjids. Learn what the morals, the values that are being taught to our children. These things are part of the American society. These things we love and we hold dear. We are American and we are Muslims, and we are not going anywhere, and Islam is here to stay.
What do we want? Justice. What do we need? Justice. What do we want? Justice. Islam. Peace. Islam. Peace. Islam. Peace. Are we criminals? No. Islam, peace! Islam, peace! Islam, peace! Islam, peace! Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. All you who believe, fear Allah, remember Allah, remember God as He deserves to remember all the time, and do not die except in the state of Islam while you're practicing Islam. Islam is final message to the humanity. Islam is mercy to all humanity. Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, told His Prophet that he was sent to be mercy to all mankind. No exceptional. If you're not a Muslim, but you live by a Muslim, or your neighbor is a Muslim, you're showered the mercy of Allah because of that Muslim, because he says La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, which means there's no God to be worshipped but one Allah only.
We have the ceremony start by نازل hadith كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم the best book, the best speech is the Book of Allah. The best guidance is the Quran. And the guidance and the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. 1 year and 9 months ago, I'm in Philadelphia with pounds of drugs in my house and AK-47 and guns around. Killers were my friends, drug dealers were my associates, thieves and robbers were my phone call that I would call to come if I invited friends who were by. This was my crowd, this was my group, these were my surroundings. Learned the Quran, followed the Sunnah. Now I don't touch cigarettes, don't touch alcohol, don't touch none of these things. Why? With the best book, the best guidance, the best example of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Quran, like my brother Jamal was telling us, turned the lights back on in Europe. Gave them the motivation to come here and establish this country where we're here today. The biggest group with the least alcohol consumption rate is who? The Muslims. The biggest group with the least divorce rate is who? The Muslims. The biggest group with the least child molesting rate is who? Muslims. The biggest group with the least alcohol or drug abuse rate is who? The biggest group with the least incarceration rate is who? How do we become that way?
Quran.
With the Quran, with the Sunnah. Allahu Akbar. They take away this guidance, they keep going down towards the destruction. The only light that they have in this world that works has been proven for over 1400 years is this Quran and is this Sunnah that they don't like so much.
No! Muslims! Muslims!
Muslim!
Quran!
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 Islam!
Islam!
Peace!
Islam!
Peace!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Are we some criminals?
No!
Are we some
No!
Islam!
Peace!
Islam!
Muslims! Muslims!
Who are we?
Muslims!
And what do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice! Peace! Peace! Islam! Peace! Islam! Peace! Islam! Peace! Islam! Peace! Are we terrorists? No! Are we terrorists? No! Are we terrorists? No! What is the Quran? Guidance! What is the Quran? Guidance! What is the Quran?
We are citizens, we are good citizens, we are educated, we have a good neighbors, we represent our religion, we are good citizens. That's what everybody should know, right?
Yes!
Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Takbir! Takbir!
I would like to tell you, do not ever hide your voice.
What we are asking is justice, right?
Yes.
But what Mr. King is doing is to single out a group of the members of the society and label them. They are not part of the American fabric. Do we accept that? No. Do we accept that? No. What we want is justice. What we want?
Justice.
What we want?
Justice.
What we want?
Justice.
When?
Now.
When?
Now.
When?
Now.
Tomorrow?
No.
Tomorrow?
No.
Tomorrow?
No.
Where?
Now.
Where?
Oh.